I love how like
Song.
play our intro song, or it has like the intro waiting music, and then we like play the intro video. And it's like, oh, did you want to hear like our intro music? Oh, did you want to hear our intro music? Because like the video is like twice as loud.
I was enjoying that our chibis, you know, Andrew's like, join us. And Josh and I were like, yeah! With our chibis. Josh and I are done.
Well, everybody, it's time to talk about the Wheel of Time. I don't know what the hell just happened to Josh's mic, but all I heard was.
Oh, did I clip?
Awesome! I gotta be.
It was just It was just like growling. I mean, somebody's gonna like clip that and put their phone somewhere and just have a party.
I was speaking Wookiee. You guys don't speak Wookiee?
No, I shave. Anyway, welcome to the Black Tower Podcast, a Wheel of Time podcast. We talk about the Wheel of Time. Sometimes. Most of the time, kind of. My name is Andrew. I'm your Bajan Mahil, your resident light skirt for cheesecake.
And I'm Josh. I'm the Sorvan Mahale. You might refer to me as an oasis of taint.
And I'm Reese, your Wraithon Mahil. And you can refer to me as your no-aces of taint. Because no glove, no love, my friend.
That's right.
I don't know why that made me think of like the old Yosemite Sam cartoon when he was like in the desert with the camel. When I say whoa, I mean whoa.
It made me think of that song by They Might Be Giants. No means no. No is always no. If you say no, it means 1,000 times no. Finger pointing, eyebrows low, mouth in the shape of the letter O. Love it. It's a good one. It's a good song. It's Reese's theme song.
That's what I was picturing when I named myself this evening.
We gotta write They Might Be Giants and thank them for the influence they've had on the show.
Let's send them a letter. I'll have my people send them a letter.
We'll give them a call.
Yeah, just send them a text. Oh, well, you know who you should do more than just send a text. You should go over and check out all the fantastic stuff they have. Our friends over at New Creations by Jenn.
What?
Where you can get all kinds of stuff. If you're watching, you can see some examples on the screen. They've got drinkware, laser cut wood, stickers, apparel, trophies, and more trophies. Swing by New Creations by Jenn, where Jenn and Rob of Weekly Will News fame craft some of the finest maker-wrought treasures this side of the Dragon Wall. From custom creations worthy of the Black Tower to fandom pieces fit for any adventure, they've got it all. There would be more text, but we ran out of space on the image. So channel your inner Rashomon, shake your dragon, and go get some of their awesome stuff. And if you're not looking for Wheel of Time stuff, they do non-Wheel of Time stuff too, as well as a bunch of stuff for other content creators. newcreationsbyjen.com, spelled Jen. Go check them out and tell them that the Black Tower Podcast sent you, because they're fantastic people and it's great to support both small businesses and fellow Wheel of Time fans. So do it. I think you're waiting for the part of this that was optional. It's not. Declare bankruptcy for the second time. Spend all of your money on New Creations by Jenn.
That's true.
Do it.
That is a valid course of action to take.
Yeah.
I myself took out a second mortgage on my home. You should follow my example.
We sold our yachts off before the show got canceled.
We did sell our yachts. That's true.
Yeah.
You can also
they depreciated heavily after the show.
To half of your location.
Yeah. Totally a related note. Absolutely. That's why. That's what happened. Clearly. Oh. But so that you don't have to cancel listening to this episode, we're also going to make sure you're protected from spoilers.
Oh, shit.
Here's your spoiler warning for this episode.
Welcome to the Black Tower, a Wheel of Time podcast. Alright, let's check this one. This podcast will likely be spoiling books 1 through... Oh, what's this? An envelope addressed to me. No name, though. Let's see what's inside. Oh my. This podcast will likely spoil all the books in the series, and apparently being a Patreon will expose you to information that should be left unseen. Protect yourself by pulling that spoiler condom all the way on. And I need a drink. That's way more of Andrew than I have ever wanted to see. Why would you put it down there?
That is the smoothest I have ever seen anybody put a latex glove on.
Did you see the... Do you guys follow the guy who does the
slid all the way to the ends immediately? Yeah.
There's a hack on how to like put on the gloves, and he was like, "What? No way!" Because that's his catchphrase. And then he did it, and it was really smooth. But not like Reese. She just that well practiced at it, I guess.
I saw one for the gym. You know, like you go up to the cable machines and you clip on the different things to hold on to. If they're like the thinner D-rings, instead of like pulling the carabiner open and pulling them out, you can just like flip it over against the moving portion of the carabiner, and it just comes off. I did it today, and I was like, this is great. It doesn't help with like the thicker ones that just can't do that because they don't have that much space, but the ones that have like the D-ring that it clips onto. I was like, what? No way. But
I love that guy. Fuck's sake.
Oh, the one I saw that I liked the most was whenever the guy showed how you could hammer the knots in a ratchet strap to loosen them and get them out. And I didn't know any of this either. So I was like, oh, he's full of shit. There's no way. It wasn't ever that tight to begin with. And then he did it and it worked. And I'm like, what?
How many times do you spend like trying to get that little fucking thing to come up?
How many times have you thrown away a ratchet strap or known someone that has because it knots in like the worst spot?
Yeah.
But speaking of happier things, it will no longer be when this comes out. But as we are recording now, it is Veterans Day week. Veterans Day in the U.S. was just a short 2 days ago, a mere 48 hours, where all of our prior service veteran brethren ran around to every possible restaurant. Yeah, brethren in like the general sense.
Oh, in the royal sense.
In the royal sense, just meant in the same way as like the phrase mankind. Sorry if you felt not included by the phrase.
Amen and a women.
Cohorts, our veteran cohorts.
I liked thinking of cistern as in like a cistern. Like, yeah.
Like a massive thing to hold water. Like,
yes.
Our brethren in cistern.
It's very moist.
Well, archaically, women are considered vessels, and they have the water sign.
I apologize.
I hope you all enjoyed all your free meals or your discounted meals. Thank you all for your service. Thank you all for you did. Even if you think you didn't do much, somebody had to do whatever bullshit you got stuck doing. And if it wasn't you, it would have been somebody else. So
here's to you, again, Mr. Flightline Sweeper.
1% of the U.S. population statistically is eligible for service. Of that 1%, it used to be generally statistically only 1% of that 1% opts to volunteer for service. So you are already an incredibly rare bunch of people. Don't let anybody diminish or take your service away from you, regardless of whether you feel you did nothing, if you worked in services and were a cook, or if you were one of the super high-speed, low-drag badasses in the SEALs or Delta Force or whatever. Everybody served. Whether you got stuck for 8 years checking IDs at the main gate for no fucking reason. I
always say it like this.
Had to hear, stay warm, stay dry, stay cool for 8 fucking years as everybody was like, oh, look, it's the weekend, I get to go home. Those are phrases that are statistically proven to make you most likely to have an inbound or outbound vehicle inspection on an Air Force base. Stay dry, stay cool, stay warm, or thank God it's Friday, can't wait for the weekend. Like, oh, that's weird. You're the 8th car, but you just searched the one in front of me. No.
That's weird.
That's different. That was his count. You're on my count.
You're on my count.
Anyway, to all of you that signed the blank check and dealt with the bullshit, passed the ASVAB, or were an ASVAB waiver, you're all brothers and sisters in arms. We thank you for your service, and I'm not going to make any more jokes.
You bunch of fucking screwballs.
Cheers, you fucking
all gave some gave all. Wow.
Better catch your pants before they fall.
I love me some peanut butter. That's actually kind of why I did it. A little throwback there.
I like it.
For those of you who don't know, the peanut butter shot was it was vaccine day. And that is the day lovingly referred to as the day you walk the gauntlet. And I kid you not, you walk the gauntlet and you step forward and two people on either
you know those royal scenes
side of you
where they're crossing swords and you walk in between them? Picture that, but all the swords are needles. And instead of just holding them above you, they're going to stab you.
There's like 3 or 4 people on either side of you. One person on either side of you for like 3 or 4 people down, right? And you step forward and 2 of them step forward and inject you in the arms. And you step forward and another 2 of them inject you in the arms. Well, one of the shots you get is penicillin.
Then you get a special one that has a bench you get to bend over.
And they put it in your booty. And it
right in the top
is
of the cheek,
referred to as the peanut butter shot because it feels thick.
Oh, it
hurts like hell. And you're that whatever cheek gets it, and you don't get to choose. Whatever cheek gets it hurts for the next week.
And you have to massage it. Well, after you get it, you have to massage where they injected it to help break it down and make sure it gets dispersed out.
Yep.
So when you come out of immunization, you are back in your flight company, whatever, and everybody's just sitting on the ground, rubbing their butt cheek. And if somebody stops, the drill instructor will come by. Hey, don't stop rubbing it.
I remember. I'll never forget. I walked the gauntlet.
Yes, they do separate the male and female trainees.
Yeah,
they do.
And
by a thin divider, so you can hear everything, but see nothing.
I remember walking through. I got done, and I'm walking through trying to find. I'm feeling woozy, right? Because I've just been stabbed literally like 8 times, and I'm like, God damn. And so I'm looking for my flight, so I can go sit with my flight, and I'm kind of looking for him. And I have a TI. You hear the what the hell, trainee? And you're like, shit, someone fucked up. I hope it's not me. And then I look up, and this dude's got his eyeballs pointed straight at me, and he's walking towards me with authority. I was like, what the fuck did I do? And so I like snapped to, and I'm like, yes, sir. What can I do for you, sir? How's it going? And he's like, trainee, why the hell are you bleeding all over the place? And I was like, I'm not bleeding, sir. And he said, look at your damn arm. And I looked down, and sure enough, like 3 injection sites were just like, bleh. I was like, oh shit! Oh, sorry, sir. Is there a paper towel?
Hey, buddy, you better suck that shit up right now. Don't make a mess. You're stuck there because they're not gonna count the time that you got to sit there and rub your butt cheek from individually. They're gonna count from when the last person comes out.
You better hope you're somewhere in the middle.
You all have to be there at least 30 minutes after final injection to make sure nobody has an adverse effect and falls out.
That's right.
So you're there for a while and you're just fucking rubbing that ass cheek. Just honestly, you're learning how to play what is it, DJ Hero? Honestly, if you're a guy, a heterosexual guy in the military, this might be where you got a lot of your finger disco skills from. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, really. Take this as a learning experience.
If you're playing Clitosaurus Rex Hero, this might be where you got some of your skills from.
Don't waste this. Don't waste it.
How do you do that thing with your fingers?
Just cuts to the peanut butter shot from the military. Bruh. Where'd you learn how to do this? The military is a path to many things. They've considered.
Is a pathway into powers many feel are unnatural.
But on the subject of unnatural, the topic of tonight's episode. Reese, who, what, when, where, why, or who's it are we talking about tonight?
We talk about a lot of important things, but I feel like tonight we have to discuss why Rhuidean might be the most important in all of Randland. All of it.
The misty city where they're looking pretty, but come January, you'll be left without the fog and they'll have no jobs. That's a callback to an epic rap battle of history. One of my favorites.
So good. Wrong line, stronger than my line when I spit a praise.
Spit a praise. Knocking you harder than front doors in my old mission days. See the silver spoon? This stuck masked out of debt. Anyway.
All right. Wow.
Rhuidean.
might be the most important city in Randland, and not just because it's empty.
Hidden in a desolate wasteland, protected by a fog that kills, created by people who no longer exist.
Does the fog kill?
I mean, theoretically it could.
But no, it doesn't.
You're messing with my mystique of the story, Josh.
Sorry, my bad. I'm so sorry.
Could you imagine
Okay,
if that
go ahead.
happened during like movie trailers? Like they're building the thrill, and someone's like, "Wait, that doesn't happen. Shut the fuck up." In a world, the oxygen itself is toxic. What are you talking about? I can breathe just fine. Shut the fuck up.
Stop talking right now.
Maybe the hinge on which the fate of Randland turned.
Is it though? No.
I don't know a fucking hinge that turns, to be honest with you. I love some of these phrases that this thing comes up with because a hinge like folds or pivots. I've never seen a fucking hinge turn. I'm sure there is one.
I think it's learning.
But not in common circulation. But
Not
let's set the stage.
Common circulation.
Let's talk about what Rhuidean actually is in and of itself.
Blood pressure says.
So Rhuidean is located deep all up in that deserty, dry waste. There are rules to get all up in that foggy goodness. Only candidates given approval by the wise ones are allowed in. The wise ones say no, you cannot go. And in the books, if you're female and you can go, you must go naked.
What? Naked?
Sexist?
You must depart from this sweat tent.
The first time.
Naked as a jaybird. And don't let the tent flaps hit you where the good creator split you.
But just the first time.
Yeah, just the first time. Also reminds me of Ray Stevens' song The Streak. There he goes, naked as a jaybird, wearing nothing but a smile.
Oh God, Ray Stevens, genius.
I introduced
genius.
Waffles. I introduced Waffles to several Ray Stevens songs this past weekend, including The Streak, Mississippi Squirrel Revival, several. And I was dying. I was dying in the fucking car laughing because I grew up with Ray Stevens music, right? And she's just sitting there like looking at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "It's fucking hilarious."
I've got several Ray Stevens songs on my Christmas playlist.
Nice. Mississippi Squirrel Revival, I think, is my favorite.
It's a good one.
Anyway,
so
ladies, Rhuidean has been designated.
Rhuidean
is designated as the Aiel's sacred city, almost like religious import in a way. You could think of it kind of seen as important to them as like Jerusalem would be to modern day Christians, Jews, and
actually
Muslim
I'd
individuals.
say it more closely is like Mecca, because at one point in time in Islam, you have to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. You have to go at least once, right?
That's
in order to I'm saying it's not a 1-for-1, right? As we know, Robert Jordan likes to lift cultures, but he doesn't ever lift them exactly. So I feel like it's sort of a lift from that, where in order to do the thing you have to do, you must make a pilgrimage.
Yeah, so it's not required for everyone, but for the people that want to have a position of authority. Yeah, I see that. It's almost
fair point. Oh God, there's apparently evidence about the fog being dangerous. We'll get to that whenever we get to that. Probably once we finish going over this section, because I don't necessarily super remember that part either. So most Aiel never see it themselves, except from maybe a distance or whatever. And then it's shrouded in fog. So how much of it do you really see? Most societies don't understand it. In fact, even the people that go into it, the clan chiefs who go in once by tradition, and the wise ones who go in twice. No, still once generally, but no, they go twice by tradition, right? Yeah.
I think originally once.
The ladies go twice. The men go once.
I thought.
Yeah, because I thought, don't they go once to start their wise one training, and then after they're kind of done with their training, they go again?
Yeah, they go once to start their wise one apprenticeship. And then once they have completed their apprenticeship, they are sent again.
I thought they didn't go again until Avienda. Like, I thought it was just like a one-time deal to learn the history.
Avienda went a third time by accident.
Okay.
Oh, not accident. She went intentionally.
Well, she went through the glass columns twice. You're only supposed to go through the glass columns once. And then she was trying to figure out how to, figure out what the glass columns do.
So the women go through the rings once in the glass columns. Okay.
Correct.
And then Avienda goes through the glass columns. So,
right, which is a thing you're not supposed to do.
I was gonna say mildly off topic, but could the men also do this and have the same result?
So they go. I mean, I guess maybe, but the wise ones, they go. The wise ones go through the rings the first time, and then they're supposed to go through the glass columns the second time.
And the rings in Rhuidean are similar to the rings in the White Tower.
Do the rings only react to Sidar, or could the men go through the rings as well?
Great question. Maybe we'll find that answer later on in this episode, which is my way of saying we're getting ahead of our current topic, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know yet.
I really got to start reading ahead. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't even have the semblance of an outline for this topic until 10 minutes ago. So, Rhuidean itself functions as a testing ground for both clan chiefs, prospective clan chiefs and prospective wise ones. A historical archive, as we learn from the experiences they have. A political legitimizer, because you are not recognized as a clan chief unless you make it through and out of Rhuidean, or as a wise one unless you make it through and out. But if you're a clan chief, you come out with a fancy new tattoo. It's kind of like that guy, but facing the other way, and his head is on your hand. It's a dragon. Dragon. Rock the dragon. Dragon my nuts. I mean, Dragon Ball Z. It's a cultural anchor for the Aiel. It's another reason to remain in the waste, but it's a physical location that kind of anchors the port of their culture to be in the waste, right? And then a metaphysical checkpoint for those of us that are kind of reading the books to make it here. Kind of gives us a checkpoint in the story for travel. So to understand the city, we must first understand where it comes from. And as an expert in coming from stuff, Josh. As the one who's come from stuff the longest of the three of us. Yeah, you like that transition right there? Yeah. How's that segue?
That's a funny way of saying I'm old, Andrew. Fuck you.
Hey,
so the origin story of Rhuidean is actually kind of a fun story. We only know it because we see it in Rand's visions as he goes back in time through the glass columns. He gets to watch his lineage, his Aiel lineage, go back further and further from when the Aiel fall away from the way of the leaf, all the way back to the Aiel leaving Ter'angreal at the destruction of the Column Dom and the opening of the Boar. But somewhere along the way, somewhere between the destruction of everything, the releasing of the Dark One himself, there is a memory in which the Aiel, who are transporting all manner of objects of power to somewhere, they don't even know. They're looking for a safe place. They go into the waste, and there we see, is it Latra Pose? I think it's Latra.
So?
I think it's Latra. I know in the TV show they say it's Latra.
Mm-hmm.
But
it works.
I can't remember if it's Latra in the books. But anyway, they talk about two Aes Sedai who are ancient. They have thin skin and very thin, extremely white hair, which we get in the books that talk about, if an Aes Sedai has any white in her hair at all, she old as fuck, right? And Cadsuane has almost a full head of silver hair, and she's like tree fitty. So
she's tree fitty.
About tree fitty. And so what you have is you've got these two Aes Sedai. What?
So in the books, their names are never given; they are only described that's completely white-haired, one with dark brown eyes, the other sharp blue. Both ride in palanquins rather than walk any distance due to their frailty. At least one wears a blanket over her lap, even in the heat of the threefold land. Her voice is a whisper, but strong.
Yeah. So I think it's suggested that one of them is Latra.
Yeah, with ageless skin so thin the wind might tear it.
Latra posee decume. I don't know. Anyway, the idea here is several is they have many different facets to this plan, right? One, gather up all the objects of power to get it away from men who can channel, who will use these objects of power to destroy the world because they're insane. Which also suggests that many of the objects of power in the waste are attuned to Sidene. And that is also where Rand gets his little fat man with the sword on Grail. Isn't that where he picks that up? Oh no, he comes out of the twisted door to Ter'angreal with that, doesn't he?
I believe.
No,
so.
he gets it in Rhuidean. Anyway.
I mean, he finds the access keys for sure, but.
And so you've got these Aiel that want a safe place to store all of these objects of power, and then they also have a need to create a place of safety for the larger of the Ter'angreal, which will help the Aiel remember their history. Because the one of the Aes Sedai have the gift of foresight, and they know that the Aiel are going to forget their history, but they know it's necessary for the last battle, those kinds of things. So they set this up as sort of a testing ground, a proving ground, and they leave it in charge of the Jenn Aiel, who the regular Aiel have become. They've started calling them the Lost Ones, and so Rhuidean.
Which they themselves are descendants.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're descendants of the Deshane.
At this point in time, Rhuidean is a seed, right? And the Aes Sedai know
spilled in the waste.
They know they know that there's nothing they can do to change things that are coming. They know that there will be suffering and war and bloodshed. But what they're doing is they're planting a seed. They're planting a small bit of hope that the right people will be sent to Rhuidean to preserve the Aiel people, which ties into what Rhuidean is. It's the most important city in the entire story, and not just because of the Aiel. It's also the most important city because it helps save Rand's life. Moraine goes through the rings and learns what she needs to do to keep Rand alive.
I mean, you could even...
It provides the doorway to his Inavienda salvation at the docks of Kyrian.
That's right.
You could even say, like, this whole process was set up to hopefully preserve the people, like, be utilized by the people that would help foster in, Rand when he comes and will be from, like, the blood of someone, like he will come from outsiders. So you have to have people that have this extra knowledge that will allow that to happen, as opposed to people who are, too proud and won't want that outsider to come in. It's almost like they have to kind of set it up where it's like, you have to be humble to let this happen. Well,
it's also like his just status as the dragon or the Karakorn, the carrier of corn for the Aiel.
Right.
At the time that he proclaims himself, Couladin has as well. And as the Karakarn, like, so clan chiefs wind up with one dragon tattoo. The Karakarn winds up with two. But Couladin, Couladin has two as well. And so does Rand. And so it's like, well, who would we rather follow? The guy that looks like the Karakarn that's like from us, or the guy that's like doesn't know anything about us? And it's the literal like purpose of Rhuidean to teach the history that we know Couladin never saw, because it was only Muladin, or whatever his stupid ass name was, that went in to try to be the clan chief for the Shido.
Muradin, yeah.
Yeah, Muradin. Not more. Yeah, Muradin. We got to be very careful with how we say that. And whatever his fucking name is, doesn't matter. He died. because he was a weak Aiel, apparently.
Clawed his face off.
Yeah. And so Couladin was artificially given those marks. We know that's by Ishmael later on. And so the way that Rand is able to convince the other leaders, because the rest of the Aiel don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but all of the other wise ones and clan chiefs know the truth of the history of the Aiel. And so when Rand's like, okay, you don't believe me because I got the dragons, let me tell you the truth of your past. And collectively, the entirety of the Aiel leadership goes, no!
Do you know,
I hate it. Reese, that is such a good fucking comment. Wistful inking.
Oh, I love wishful inking. I do that every time I get a tattoo.
You're gonna make me ink.
It's gonna make me happy.
Yeah. This time, my depression will be gone. But yeah, so without Rhuidean and the crystal columns, Rand would have no way to convince the Aiel leadership other than those that already believed him, which, you know, was pretty much just the leadership of the Taradat Aiel. Would have no way to convince all of the other leaders that no, he really is the Karakarn. He clearly went through the crystal columns. And when Couladin is out like, you're a liar, they're like, well, clearly he hasn't gone through the fucking columns. Like, or he wouldn't call him a liar. He fucking know. This is the truth. We used to be pacifists. Like, the uber pacifists. Like the, you know, oh, you can punch me in the face and I'll just let you punch me in the other side.
And I'll just ask you if you hurt your hand.
Yeah.
I always thought that was
kind of the short tangent.
I always thought that was kind of the fun part of when Couladin's like, no, this can't be true. Is that all of the Aiel are like, yeah, this can't be true, but all of the chiefs and the wise ones are like,
fun quick Bible tangent for you. Because there's typically cited from the Bible the whole like, if someone strikes you on the cheek, turn to him the other.
Right.
And most people see it as like, hey, don't get mad, just like, you know, let him hit you again. In reality, what Jesus was doing was teaching. That was fun. I'll hit the mute button.
Wow.
I don't know if that's
one of those biblical moments where it's like, if a man speak falsehoods, I shall take his voice from him.
Yeah.
We're not redoing
this. So like,
y'all,
so like,
the Lord is real. The Lord is real, and Andrew is an employee of the devil.
So to get slapped with the back of the hand was an insult, but with the front of the hand wasn't. Like, so if the person went to backhand you one way, but you turned them the other cheek, it would force them to have to hit you with the front of their hand. It was a way to passively resist their shit. Within the same sayings, there's also the like, if a man should force you to carry his pack for a mile, go beyond and carry it the extra mile.
Go with him twain.
Yeah. Roman soldiers were allowed to force people to carry their packs for them for no more than 1 mile. To go beyond that, they would actually get in trouble for doing so. And the final one was if someone would take your cloak, give them your tunic as well. Back in the time that this saying was given, the embarrassment of being, giving your tunic would leave you naked. The embarrassment of being naked wasn't on the person being naked. It was the people looking at the person that was naked. So if he took your tunic or your cloak and you gave him your tunic and now you're naked, the embarrassment is on him or them for seeing you naked. So the whole thing that like is portrayed and given to people as like a way of like, oh no, just, don't get mad about it. Don't do anything about it. Just let it happen. There's bigger things to worry about. It's actually I don't know about a master class, but a decent class on how to like passively resist or like passive aggressively resist, like people being shitty to you. That's the intent is like, you can resist what they're doing without resorting to their methodology. You can use their methodology against them.
What's that called? It's like it's where you're complying, but it's like
malicious compliance.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, it's in the same vein as malicious compliance. So I just thought that was a neat little thing. Anyway,
the oldest form of malicious compliance.
Yeah.
I'm also predicting we're gonna have to part 2 this episode.
What?
I mean, it's not like we're only like approaching part 3. Which, I mean, to be fair, like, this was one of the things we were looking at, was like, this is a great episode for multi-part.
Well, and how many times have we discussed Rhuidean? It's just so many. Yeah, this is not gonna be another Elaine Tricand.
Yeah.
So
we
one
discussed
of the things,
her baths as many times, discussed her as many times as she had baths.
Right.
What? Just in milk.
I forgot what I was going to say about Rhuidean. I had a fun point that I was going to make, and now I can't remember what it is. Oh, well.
That's because the word of the Lord has banished the demon from your
The
tongue.
word of the Lord has banished me.
The Lord of the Lord. Yep, exactly what you said.
He is Lord of Lords, right?
King of Kings, but I mean, technically, yeah, it would be
now
Lord
I'm
of
going to be
Lord.
upset. I'm going to be upset. I'll be upset now.
Well, instead of being upset, turn the other cheek. Keep thinking on it.
Really what you want to see, boy?
I don't give a shit which side of my hand I slap you with.
I ain't following no Arabic traditions here.
Anyway, the Jenn Aiel, the tragedy, the bothered past that actually is. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I just remember what I was going to say. I was going to say this is such a miss in the TV show. Like, we talk about Rhuidean being the best episode in the series, and it is
surrounded in mist.
And the thing is it is another aspect of that mystery, right? Because again, Reese, like you said, like Couladin's up there, like, haha, we are warriors, we are great warriors, and all the people are like, yeah, he this guy fucking knows. That wetlander don't know. And then, like, wrong. I can just imagine all of the fucking warriors looking at the wise ones and the clan chiefs going, why aren't they cheering also? Like, what's going on? And this is an extremely heartbreaking moment. This is literally this is an emotional.
The show did a great job on this moment. I think.
Okay, so I think it's a miss. I do not think the show really encapsulated it.
I say they did a good job in one specific small portion of the overall scene.
Right.
Because they're talking about this, and like eventually you have the Aiel that are standing by listening to everything, and they split in half and they're facing each other. After what really gets them riled up is whenever Rand outright declares them, like, you know, you need to remember who you are Oathbreaker, which is an incredible accusation against the Aiel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the equivalent of telling like all the Aiel that they have toe like 10 times over. Like,
yeah.
See what I did there?
So,
10 times
so this
over.
is what I'm saying. Like, this is the nuclear bomb moment for the Aiel. This is not a spot. And the problem I have with the show is it's kind of flat. Like, you don't get that really. You don't get the true emotional depth. Like, Rand goes, "Oh, we followed the will of the leaf, and you are all Oathbreakers." And to me, watching the show, not having any context from the books, I'm going, why would any of them give a fuck? They would immediately be like,
I agree. It was a good way to start showing how impactful it was.
And it's the main criticism of the show, right? That everything was just rushed, and we don't get any depth to any of the stories.
TV show never rushed anything in the 8th episode of any season.
No, they put the full everything into it. Nothing was rushed. Everything was fully exactly how they wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop, when they had, stop, every stop.
When they had the unfortunate but useful advantage of extra editing time because of COVID, it was clearly spent in the CGI room, making sure that the Trollocs in episode 8 looked really realistic.
Yeah, right.
That's it. That's the one.
Exactly.
I don't know why you got canceled.
I don't know. I just, again, like,
I have less and less patience for people being mad about the people being like, I'm sad it got canceled, but also like I'm not entirely super surprised. I think Amazon's reasoning that they released is bullshit. I absolutely agree with people there, but like Amazon being like, oh, we don't have the money. You have all of the money.
You have literally all the money.
Your CEO's name is synonymous with having all the money. Like.
Yeah, I disagree.
If anybody on the earth had more money than Jesus, we'd be looking at Bezos. I'd
probably say that, like, if I were to say that, like, I would donate and say that there were, like, close siblings that probably had to say about this.
Yeah.
It's true. But no, it's just, again, the weight of Rhuidean
It's a very
is so
engaging
vast.
conversation to be had.
And so you've got this scenario in which you've got to, and I think that's why it's so vast too, right? Is another reason why Rhuidean is one of the most important cities in the whole world, because it kicks off that first domino with the Aiel
revolution.
Yeah, and it's one of those dominoes that we didn't even know hit until 1,000 years later, because fucking it was set by the Aiel themselves and the Aes Sedai, and they went, cool. We need to make sure that the prophecy about breaking his people comes true, and that's really what it is.
It is, and that's perfect segue into focusing shortly here on the Jenn Aiel, who are in fact the tragic core of the city. So the Jenn Aiel are the section of the Dashane that follow and still serve the Aes Sedai in this tasking after the collapse of the Column Dom and Paradisen falls. Well, really just after the Column Dom is ruptured. Because at that point, the powers that be are like, oh no, we gotta fucking go. Like one of the few smart decisions that were made. Like, shit's fucky, time to peace out. So the Jenn Aiel are the remnant of a remnant themselves of the kind of like, they're not just servants of the Aes Sedai. They're like noble servants. It is a noble profession to be part of the Dashane. It isn't, just I found you on Craigslist and you said you'd clean my shitter kind of thing. Like, it's not indentured servitude. It's not anything that we would think of in modern terms as any kind of slavery or servitude. It's pretty fucking good. It's a good job to have. It's a hard job to get, and generally to kind of pull a little bit, because obviously the Aiel pull a lot from like the 13 tribes of Israel and that kind of with the different clans, right? Kind of like a thing like that. Yeah, you kind of got to be born. I mean, literally, take the Jinn, turn the two ends upside down, and mush them together. It makes the word Jew.
Now kiss.
I don't know. I mean, sure, I guess, maybe. But, which I'm like looking at the word, and I'm like, is this how Robert Jordan came up with the word Jenn Aiel? Did he just take the W, turn it upside down, and split it? That's my new headcanon. Dr. Michael Livingston, for the sake of you or mustache returning or not, I need answers.
Because he totally watches our show.
We must ask you a question, Dr. Livingston.
What did Robert Jordan think about turning the word Jew into Jinn? But they were considered the true Aiel. Their moral, spiritual dedication to their original purpose of serving the Aes Sedai. This is their whole purpose in still carrying the Ter'angreal in these wagons that they didn't understand what was in them, but they knew it was important, to a safe spot. That's the only command they were given. Take it to a safe place. Do not stop until you are safe. I don't know why I said do not like that, but that's how it happened. And they are played consistently by suffering upon suffering upon suffering, and this is where we wind up eventually, and through Rand's eyes in the Crystal Columns, we see the split into the modern section of the warrior Aiel in the origination of the veiling, to hide their face in disgrace from their betrayal of their original commandments or their original oaths, and then the split that basically becomes ultimately the Tuathan that follow the way of the leaf, that endure this suffering, and it's for a long part, it's the Tuathan kind of branch that carries on the task. But the now more warrior-like Aiel faction still shadows them and protects them, which also helps explain why the current Aiel and the Tuathan have such a relationship. Like, they look at each other like they have the worst possible outlook on life, but they're super fucking chill with each other. Like, the Tuathan go into the waste all the time to help repair the pots and pans and do all this shit for the Aiel. Even though they look at the Aiel as like, you have the worst possible outlook on life. You do nothing but fight and kill. And the Aiel are like, you are the weakest possible people. You're not even willing to defend yourselves. by the way, you have free passage and we'll protect you within our lands. Like, you're perfectly fine here.
It's
And
like
to an outsider, you just kind of look at like their relationship and you're like, why? It's because they have a common ancestor. They're the same family. They just don't know it.
Yeah, they're like the ultimate antithesis, but they don't know why. And yet,
Let's
like,
say
we
they
kind of
don't.
Go ahead.
Do they do this because all of the Aiel leaders know the truth about their origins and that's why they keep this alive? Because they're like, they are who we actually were always supposed to be. Like, they're still holding to the truth of the agreement. We're the ones that fucked up. So as part of our penance, we owe it to them to keep them safe.
Part of our toe. Yeah.
I always kind of wondered that, as like the leaders, the clan chiefs, the wise ones of the Aiel that go and learn the full history, they kind of carry the toe of those first Aiel that made that break from the oath breakers that are actually the ones following the oaths, ironically. And where it's like, that's kind of like the clan chiefs and the wise ones carry that burden of like, yeah, we are actually.
We got to be nice to them.
We're not
Why?
gonna tell
Are we the baddies?
It's fine. I'm not gonna call him my brother. I'm not gonna do it.
Not even if there's a fire.
But I like. So we have this kind of prompt here that I really like, and it kind of like paints a shadowy kind of like that's not the right word I want to use, but a bit of a more morbid but like sad tone morbid kind of picture of Rhuidean. Is Rhuidean a grave marker, a museum, a warning, or all three, which is the cop-out answer? So I'm going to make us choose in between the three, and while you guys are discussing, I'm going to step away for a quick second, but I'll be right back.
So rude.
Ooh.
You know, I think, oh wow, that's so, these guys!
Just kidding.
That was good.
you were right there too. You were in the moment. You were like, yes, well, I think.
It's like, oh, well, shit, I see. Okay.
It's
That
your
was
show,
broken.
Reese. It's your show.
I understand the Aiel all of a sudden.
Oh, shit. Anyway, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I too know what it's like to be guilty of a sin and not remember what it is. The funny part is I think there's still a cop-out answer, even though I've removed the all three option.
Yeah.
And it's not Reese slowly coughing to death.
Reese slowly dying.
Live!
Andrew, you missed what I did. You left, and I waited till she started talking, and then I turned off my camera. So she was like,
I heard her go, these guys, and I was like, wait, what happened? I was like, I know I stepped away. What did Josh do?
I sat right here and watched it unravel.
And in that moment, Josh looked right at Reese and just said, gotcha.
It's true.
I need my Dave Chappelle button.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
Poor Reese.
All right.
I just like watching.
We're back now. We're grounding. Things are beautiful.
Channel your like totally inner Bodhisattva ram.
Channel your chakras and stuff, bro.
If you could like straighten out your fucking chakras and get on with it, that'd be fucking great. All right. Stop trying to keep me from my nirvana. Fucking go.
Sky is in Tangerine. I don't want to hear about it. Okay.
Are we talking about the grapefruit technique? What's happening here?
Okay.
So right. Nasty. Rhuidean, grave marker, museum, or warning? Oh, God. Horrific historical artifact. Got it. Understood.
Don't be rude.
Oh, shit.
This is the part of the episode where we just start using our soundboards instead of actually answering questions.
Instead of talking.
Josh, I'm gonna put it on you. You motherfucker. I don't like the way that laid. I'm gonna put it on you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Okay,
like forearm
go ahead. Thorough
curls
this time.
at the fucking gym on the cables. Like,
Let's go.
What you got, Reese?
Not much. Let's see.
Not much. Didn't you just get a new fiance? Like, come on now.
I mean, I got that, but for recording, I mean, that's a different.
I mean, you could record a lot with a fiance. I'm just saying.
Ooh.
It could, but you need a release for that, guys.
Or a subscription.
Luckily, that was part of the
Only
ticket.
James.
That was part of the ticket purchase agreement for Gathering Madness.
He didn't realize what he had signed on for.
Gotcha, bitch.
Well, excuse me.
Oh, I love you guys. I love this show.
We're doing well, I feel like.
All right. Grave marker, museum, or warning?
It's like the most morbid fucking question. There's just Reese just.
It's like a new dating game. Yeah.
Let's play that new dating game. Grave marker, museum, or warning.
While all your friends are playing Fuck, Marry, Kill, we're playing.
We're playing Bond, Marry, Kill. We're over here playing Grave marker, museum, warning.
Oh, Bond, Mary, Balefire.
Oh yeah, that one.
Whatever. Details.
Good times. Good times.
Can you pick one of the three, Reese?
Huh?
This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the rest of the show right here. We're gonna keep asking Reese if she can answer, and then just playing random sounds to make her laugh.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
What was the question?
Rhuidean, is it a grave marker, a museum, or a warning?
2,000 years later.
I mean, just like the government shutdown, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
It's gonna be our first beat in 3 to 4 years.
Yes, you're not allowed to say all three. Andrew said that. He specified that.
It's been 100 years, Daddy.
What was that?
I don't know. It had a picture of a corgi. I was trying to find it's been 84 years, and I couldn't find it.
Well, I think
Yeah, go for it.
it's a little bit of a combination of a grave marker and a museum. Well, no, I'm going to say it's a grave marker. Well,
Just because I said you can't choose all three doesn't mean you can choose two.
well, okay, but here's the problem, right? It's a museum. It's a museum in Egypt. All right. No labels, no tags, no information about the artifacts. It's just a collection of artifacts and a building that says, here's the artifacts. Okay.
Not even a good museum. They don't even want you in there.
That doesn't serve any purpose. And Rhuidean serves a very specific purpose. So I will say, I don't think it's any of these. I think it is
none of the above.
It's a library, a depot of knowledge, and an armory, right? So it's kind of like a library. And that's what I think.
So it's like there's a name for that. You find it in like video games and shit. Whenever you like raid a castle, like a safe house, like a storehouse, or not a storehouse, not a safe house, like a vault.
Yeah, it's a vault.
It does have a lock. It does keep its legs closed and try to not let you in.
Sure.
Like Sweet Mary Ann's chastity belt from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Catholic high school.
I think Catholic high schools are way more open than that.
I mean,
There's
the
something
Catholic
about
high
it.
school itself. The Catholic high school.
Oh, yeah. The idea of the Catholic high school, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my thought would be that despite saying all three couldn't be an answer, the cop-out answer is still a museum. Because museums often are also grave markers because they talk about the graves and the shortfalls and what led to the deaths of other people. But also they're warnings, right? History is a warning. You know, there's a saying, people that do not know history are doomed to repeat it, kind of thing. Very clearly a true thing, unfortunately, in our modern world, I think. But if you don't know how people fucked up before doing the same shit you're doing now, whenever you could have known it, you should know it if you can. So it's a warning to be like, hey, maybe don't do some of this shit or do it in a different way. Which I think is ultimately what prompts Avienda to go back there for a third time. She's like, I feel like I've got most of the pieces of the puzzle. I'm just missing a couple. If I could go back one more time. And the wise was like, no one's ever gone back a third time. And Avienda's like, no one's ever been Avienda before. And they're like, well, technically it's the Wheel of Time. Someone has been Avienda before. You're categorically wrong. Like, and she's like, well, my soul's still here, so clearly it can't be that fucking bad. And they're like, fair point, go a third time. Which is a great argument. Whenever your mom's like, you shouldn't go out to play tonight, it's too dangerous. But like, well, Mom, I'm still here, so clearly I've made this choice before and still survived. So let me fucking go out to the party.
You know, I think that's kind of part of what makes at least the current age of the Wheel of Time kind of fun, or at least interesting, is that we have these kind of older versions where it's like there are certain things that we're looking for, but the current age is like, no, we're looking for everything. And it's kind of very reminiscent of what we go through in current day, where it's like we have these certain things that we went through in our past, but the current age is like, no, we're not doing any of that. We're doing this instead. And it's like, oh shit, okay, how do we deal with the current age? And it's kind of very similar to what happened in Randland with the Wheel of Time, where it's like everybody's very particular with how they deal with things, and then all of a sudden there's this one age that's just like, boom, we want to figure out everything right here and now, let's go. And it happened to coincide with the changing of ages, and I think it's kind of funny to look at like current day and be like, oh, that's kind of similar to now, where it's like kids today are like, no, that doesn't work, let's just do all of this. And it's like,
I need instant gratification.
Like, I can see that happening in Randland. Like, that makes sense. So it's kind of funny to kind of see that reflected now.
So it's kind of sounds like you would agree with the museum part of that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's also the cop-out answer. When I was like, hey, no cop-outs, I already knew what the cop-out was.
That's fair.
Last section, it's even though this is where the sections start getting big, I still want us to speed through this because I think to do a true two-parter, this is the last section we need to cover. And I think we can do it in a reasonable 10 to 15. Focusing on the glass columns, the most important Ter'angreal, at least in the top 5 most important Ter'angreal in the Third Age. Why do I hear myself? But Josh, you got me on speakerphone again. Yep, it's you. I could see the thing light up. It was you. Oh, I don't hear myself anymore. That's weird. As you mute yourself. Yeah, motherfucker, I caught you. I knew it was you this whole time. Fucking promises. But you and I both know that a certain someone would fucking murder you. She's crazy. She'll fucking do it. Make sure that just that one person can't hear that part of the episode or I might die. All right, so a breakdown. What the columns do. They show the ancestral memories of the Aiel, which generally follows a biological lineage, right? Rand got to progressively see older and older ancestral lives of his own bloodline lineage within the Aiel, which we know through knowing Rand's lineage is all thanks to his daddy. These are patriarchal memories for Rand. Just, showing a little bit of love to Rand's biological dad because he doesn't get a whole lot of love and recognition. I say as I can't actively remember the guy's name. His mom's name was Tigraine. It would be great if somebody remembered his dad's name. Thank you. Say it one more time. Janduin. Columns also reveal the history of the Dashane Aiel, or just the Dashane. They force a confrontation with your own identity if you are Aiel. They display the brutal transformation into warriors, but also reveal that the people that are all super pacifists are also kind of like your cousins. And they strip away the romanticized cultural mythology that the Aiel, that they are warriors and have always been warriors and they've never been anything else. The visions move backwards. Generally, it emphasizes the loss experience through the visions. it peels away the layers like an onion until the truth at the core is revealed. For us, the viewer, or for the viewer that's watching the memories, it destabilizes them emotionally over time, which is obviously Moradin, Molden, Couladin's brother gets so messed up and claw his own face off. And it could also possibly represent spiraling back through the ages, that symbolism, symbology, if you will, for my Boondock Saints fans. I think the word you're looking for is symbolism. So Rand's experience. Rand experiences the emotional disintegration from modern Aiel all the way back to the origins of being a peaceful people that lived to serve and took pride in it. Gives him an understanding of the prophecy of Rhuidean and some of his own prophecy. Helps him accept the role as the Karakorn, or the Karakarn and the Aiel society. He gets the pain and a massive amount of understanding of the Aiel by watching his own people, or that he's just now really coming to terms with being a part of, going back in time and seeing that they once were something that now they revile and think is idiotic, and really getting a good understanding of, like, yeah, your original sin is something that you would currently look at as beyond stupid, like you can't fathom it. But it also gives him a massive window in understanding Giotto, the strength versus burden kind of ideology that Giotto embodies as well, and that this is their true shame, is that they made this massive oath to the Aes Sedai, and they ultimately could not go through with it as a people. It's a very noble people, it's a very honorific people that were very, very devoted to being not just good servants, the best servants, the greatest servants. No one ever had better servants. They were treated the best. And so Rand gets a massive amount of understanding of the Aiel from this, and he comes out of this, I think, really knowing more about the Aiel than most Aiel know about themselves, but just having a really good bird's eye view, big picture understanding of kind of how the Aiel got to where they are. We can ignore the next section because that didn't actually happen. Fucking weird. Because Matt went through the redstone doorway at the same time Rand was going through the glass columns. So why this even matters? The Aiel were destined to be Rand's strongest supporters. Ultimately, this is where destiny was going to lead him. Whoever the Dragon Reborn was going to be, whether it was Rand or not, didn't matter. The Aiel were always destined to be the strongest possible supporters for the Dragon Reborn, for Rand. And like we talked about earlier, without the revelations in Rhuidean, Rand would never have the information to verify that he had been through and seen what happened and truly earned the dual clan chief tattooing that he did. And this is what cements the leadership of the Aiel to him, which is how we also know that not only is Couladin full of shit, but Savannah, who tries to proclaim herself as a wise one, is full of shit. That the rest of the wise ones either choose to ignore the truth that they know, or they're all full of shit and aren't truly wise ones. Massive Shido conspiracy. Shocking. Unveiled here now. But this whole debacle basically winds up saving the Westlands from being overwhelmed and conquered by the Aiel. Because it's only those that reject the truth of what Rand says that move on to try to take over any significant portion of the Westlands. And then Rand has the rest of them behind him. It's a remnant of a remnant because I think over half of the Aiel just run off into the waste and abandon their sept and clan. But those that are strong, those that could withstand the truth in mass, remain with Rand.
It's interesting in itself because, like, if the full force were to have remained loyal, it's almost like it would have been overwhelming. Like the Westlands themselves couldn't have handled that. Like they would have been almost put off by that amount of force coming against them. And so it's kind of interesting kind of how it happened, where it was like it had to break those forces to split them so that the Westlands could come to their own support, as opposed to just falling in line under the greater force that was the Aiel. So it's interesting, even in that how like the wheel weaves. There's always it takes all aspects into account when it's trying to find its future. It's really interesting how it works out. I always enjoy that.
That whale do be weaving.
It
No, but
do
I like that
weave.
idea that this remnant of a remnant surviving kind of aspect points later on as well. But the vision one, it breaks the Aiel into like acceptable, biteable pieces for the Westlands, but also because Rand is moving so hard against the Shido Aiel, it gives them a common enemy to fight against with the people of the Westlands. So it can legitimize the fact that the Aiel that are behind him are actually following him and there to support, the Dragon Reborn, rather than just being another section of the Aiel that are here to do, the same that they did to Layman.
Yeah, that's true too. It gives them a way to kind of unify as opposed to just being another opposing force. It gives them that kind of like channel a channel. How appropriate.
Well, it's also an extremely polarizing issue too, right? Like you can't walk the middle ground on that. You can't say, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, because it's and this again, this is where I say the show missed it, because this is the literal fabric of their society. So that would be like someone coming up to you. Well, it's a little like someone coming up and saying to you, the Earth is flat. No, it isn't. This isn't an issue in which you can walk both sides and say, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. No, it's a pretty definitive statement to make, and you can't not stand and say one way or the other. I mean, you can, but it's that preposterous for these people. But the problem is, most Aiel think the world is flat. The wise ones and the clan chiefs know that the world is round. And when you come up to someone, and there's an old saying that says, it's more difficult to convince someone that they have been fooled than it is to fool them. And that's essentially what's happened here. The Aiel have all been fooled, by no fault of their own, into believing that they've always been warriors. And then Rand peels that back, and many of them can't handle it. Many of them just like, what are you talking about? Because it's not just saying, fucking
Surprise,
Ruark is
motherfucker.
going to make Rhuidean great again. He's going to make Rhuidean the greatest. It goes much deeper than that. It goes much, much deeper than that. And so this is such an interesting place to go with this, because again, and I agree with you, Andrew, we're going to have to do a part 2, because this topic just gets bigger and bigger.
We're almost at an hour and a half now.
The more that we unravel it.
And we're unraveling with Reese. With Reese down there.
I've unraveled. I have no ravelings left.
Just look at the state of her leaf curtains. Unraveled.
They're in complete. I don't even know.
I left my leaf curtains.
Gotta keep a well manicured leaf curtain.
I done left my box of leaf curtains. Son of a bitch. Gather Madness done come up and stole my leaf curtains.
No, you know what? It was the roof mistress. She claimed them in her 5th.
That's it. Roof mistress took a 5th of my leaf curtain.
Correct.
Oh. So, all right. So far with what we covered on Rhuidean, yeah, I agree with Josh. Any final thoughts up through let's see. We've talked about we've set the stage for Rhuidean and why it's important, kind of where it is as we come around with it, the origins of it, where it came from, the Jenn Aiel and their influence, and the glass columns. So keeping yourself to just that half of Rhuidean, because if it's the most important city in the entirety of the Wheel of Time, of course there's going to be multiple parts. Any final thoughts in that regard? Josh, I'm going to ask you to go first while Reese formulates her thoughts.
I don't know, not a lot that we haven't already kind of discussed. I mean, like I said earlier on, it's a seed that was planted.
I didn't mean to imply that like Reese just didn't have her shit together. Like I don't have a final thing to say. Like, sorry. I kind of scapegoated you
have my shit together.
Reese.
No, as I said earlier, at this point in time, with what we've kind of discussed about Rhuidean, it's a seed. It's a seed that was planted, 3,000 years ago, or maybe 2,500 years ago, and this whole time it's been nurtured unwittingly by the Aiel. They've literally been nurturing the very medicine that would kill the cancers and nourish the faithful. And in one of the most brutal cullings of a culture. Beautiful.
Oh, my hair does smell good, actually. Oh, that's good to know. Oh, I was indeed listening, but I don't have the long, luscious locks that both of you do. All right. Every once in a while, it gets long enough, and I just cut it. When it gets too long, you gotta cut it. Yet everywhere I go, somebody's like, I found out that it is now common to refer to me in the IT office as, which technician is helping you? Is it the shorter guy with the glasses and no beard, the guy with glasses and beard, the black guy, or the guy that looks like a Viking?
My dad
Which I'm not
introduces Eamon and myself as his Viking sons.
It doesn't help that every Tuesday and Thursday I wear my Gungnir Wayfinder necklace to work.
Nice.
And half of the time people are like, "Oh, cool, Native American," and I'm like, no, like the runes on it are Viking, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like an arrowhead," and I'm like, "No, this is Gungnir," and they're like, "Oh, but it looks like an arrowhead," and I'm like, "Yeah, Gungnir is Odin's spear. This is the spearhead for Odin's staff." And I had one lady, like, she kept going on about it being Native American. I'm like, look, I get where you're going at. I'm not like a devout, like, Viking, kind of like pantheon follower. So it's okay with me. But you would be incredibly offensive to somebody that followed the Norse pagan pantheon, especially if their main god was Odin.
Yeah, but people don't know nothing about that, so.
Goddamn, people don't know nothing. I said no 4 times. It's not Native American arrowhead. Not everything that looks like an arrow is Native American, all right? They're not the only ones that had arrows. Literally everybody fucking did. Fuck off. Anyway.
Yeah.
Reese, do you have your final thoughts, or would you like me to go?
Go right ahead.
Go right ahead. Go right but straight.
Just don't go left ahead.
No left. No.
I try not to, but shit happens.
I'll keep.
I think Rhuidean has some of the most interesting origins of any place that we see in the Wheel of Time. I mean, it's the closest thing we seem to have to an active living, or I mean, as much as the location can be living, but an active location that still exists from as close to the Age of Legends as possible. And it is just filled with answers if you have the time to find them, and the wherewithal to find them. And the fact that it remained so central to Aiel society, that this is their electorate, right? They don't have an electoral college, nothing like that. It's just the wise ones there being like, yep, cool, good enough, go in. If you make it out, you're a clan chief. If you don't, we'll stick your spear in the fucking ground outside because you can't take weapons with you in there. And then there's, the prospective wise ones that are like, you can't take your spears. Even though they've already broken theirs. They're like, oh, justice. And they're like, actually, you, girl, strip naked. I don't know why the women had to be naked the first time to go through the fog, but, far be it for me to question the will of the wise ones. But really interesting history, really interesting formation. I would love to find out if it truly was Latra and which other Aes Sedai from the Age of Legends made it to the founding of Rhuidean. But, we will probably never know. But it's really cool. But I think the coolest parts of Rhuidean are coming up in part 2, where we will be covering things like the structures, mysteries, and the fog around the city of Rhuidean. Mm-hmm. Its role in Aiel politics and the last battle. A little tiny known character known as Nakomi and their possible interaction and importance with Rhuidean, the intervention within the pattern itself, and some metaphysics, and then ultimately answering the question why Rhuidean might have been the most important city in all of Randland, before we get to the end of where we ask you guys questions to let us know down in the comments below. If you have things you already want to ask us or comments you want to make, please put them in the comment section or notes or whatever it is down below, because we love to see them, we love to read them, we love to talk about them. And we don't know what you guys want to ask us or anything unless you put it there or send it to us on social media or email it or whatever that kind of stuff is. So please do so. And that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. Love it.
I love this topic. I love this topic because there's so many ways to take it. Like, even just in the world. Oh, is? Yeah. You know, even in just like the basic, like, here are the stories of the Aiel. You know, there's like the basic, like, this is the Aiel. And then there's the advanced, like, this is what we don't talk about with the Aiel, where only some of the people know. And it's like, even though the clan chiefs and the you know, the wise ones know it, they kind of like, you know, don't really talk about it unless somebody else brings it up. Where it's like, even when, you know, it's becoming a more like mainstream thing just because of, you know, the end of times and current events, they're still kind of like, no, we don't talk about Bruno. Come on.
We don't talk about Rhuidean. No.
Correct.
You get it.
We don't talk about Rand opening Rhuidean as the only city in the Waste. No. There's water in Rhuidean. No. But yeah, no, I agree. I love it, guys, folks, people of all walks of life. Go and check out newcreationsbyjen.com. Spelled Jen. They're fantastic. They do all kinds of incredible Wheel of Time inspired merch, both inspired by different Wheel of Time content creators, including Kate Redding and Michael Kramer, and Black Tower Podcasts, both of equally illustrious fame, I assure you, clearly. But also a ton of non-Wheel of Time stuff. If you're just looking for gifts, for knickknacks, for just cool shit to give people in your life while you're waiting. Maybe somebody that, you know, just recently bought a new house and moved into it and might need new knickknacks to put on their wall here and there. Who knows? You know, somebody named Josh that lives in Ogden, Utah.
Interesting.
Maybe he needs a housewarming gift or two. You never know. Go and check them out. Tell them we sent you. We will see you again next week, or maybe the week after. We might split and not do part 2 immediately after. We might throw you for a loop. We'll see. We'll figure out what we want to do when we want to do it next time. Patrons, you haven't been forgotten. All of your stuff is still on the table. You are still going to get everything you are due. We're just in a bit of a rut as far as some designs and getting some stickers made and that kind of stuff. So we do apologize, but it is all still coming to you. I assure you, we are working on it in the background. But all that said and done, thank you all so much for listening, for tolerating us, especially on these longer episodes like this one. We'll see what this gets cut down to. We're at an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 20. But for all of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, my name has been Andrew. I've come for your cheesecake, and I've also come in your cheesecake. So enjoy that.
My name is Josh, and I'm here for your taint.
And I'm Reese. I'm here for all of your above. So
I'm here for your tainted cheesecake. Does your cheesecake have jizz in it from the Black Terror Podcast? Call the law offices of Reese Sadai.
You may be entitled to
enduring compensation.
Either way, I'm getting a settlement.
I've already settled for where my life is. We love you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We see you all again next week on the Black Tower Podcast. Good night and all that fancy.
You've been waiting for this moment, for this feeling to grow. In the shadows, always watching, always running the show. In the tower, you can bring your pain. In the tower, you can feel the strain. You've been having so much trouble